What's going on, guys? Welcome to SHL Tonight. How's everybody doing? Appreciate you if you're tuning in. Hiff, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. NHL trade deadline day, always a fun day.
Oh my God. It wasn't a fun day for you?
I got to watch the Bruins finally get dismantled. What could be a better day? Glorious through and through.
I already spent 4.5 hours breaking this down live on YouTube. I don't want
Don
to spend
Sweeney spent 3 hours breaking the Bruins down.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about fucking 12 hours breaking the Bruins down by the rest of the NHL here today. So, oh boy.
Just got to move Pasternak. It'll be good.
No.
Reset it.
Nope. It's a retool, not a rebuild. Welcome to SHL Tonight, your show where we break down all things SHL. If you don't know, we do have a thread on the forums. If you have any questions that you want to have us talk about, please add them there. Helps us come up with good topics and agendas, and helps me and if not just pretend like we know what we're doing on our own. So we would appreciate your interaction and your suggestions. In the meantime, we do have some things to talk about tonight. So last week we had obviously our wonderful co-commissioner Jess, as well as head office member SD Corey. And we talked about some of the State of the Union stuff that was going on, as well as the FHM 10 transition, which has been fun. We're not talking fancy. I'm not even putting that on the screen. We're not talking about the Bruins. We're here to talk about SHL. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you. We're here to talk about. Stop it, Hiff. Just don't even. I am like on the precipice today. I am just.
We're on the cusp.
Kari is sad and alone in Twitch chat.
It's better than being with Frenchie in Twitch chat. So sad and alone is a good alternative.
That's a good point. So we have a few things that we're going to talk about today. SHL trade deadline is one of them. That is tomorrow. And I mean, it's topical, right? I mean, I'm not talking about the Bruins anymore. Don't talk about the Bruins. I don't want to talk about the Bruins. But the NHL trade deadline was today. And the SHL trade deadline is tomorrow. And what are some of those, similarities? And what are the differences? And why is the SHL trade deadline exponentially quieter than what the NHL trade deadline is? For better or for worse. And additionally, we're going to talk about some other things. We're going to talk about some, SHL top performers. We're going to talk about some SMJHL top performers, the teams that are, really performing well. And maybe some teams that are not performing so well that maybe we're planning on performing well.
Can't believe you're just going to at UConn like that.
What can I say? I blame my co-GM.
You have a co-GM?
Right. Sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, correct. That is the guy that is my co-GM, yes, in Winnipeg. Other topics. Former GMs that aren't GMs anymore that we consider top-tier GMs that could probably step in.
Like that HFFO guy, just probably going to be fucking incredible if he ever GMs again.
Agree to disagree. We also have some Hamilton Steelhawks new branding that was announced. In a really peculiar way, I think the announcement happened, but we'll break that down as well.
It was like some Ozempic marketing, honestly.
Well, here it is. It'll help you lose weight. It's fucking cool.
Ask your doctors.
Good luck.
But what? Why?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even notice the shirt. That's a good point.
Togepi shirt.
Hell yeah. Why is Hip dressed as a Pokemon?
It's because of the price of eggs going up. I'm just trying to get on that train.
Smart.
Dress for the job you want.
I got chickens and you got a egg shirt. So those are
We're
two
golden
things. Yeah, we'll have the market cornered for sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started then, and we have a little bit of stuff to talk about. Um, it's gonna be kind of interesting. Let's talk about something that I didn't mention right off the bat. A good little icebreaker, I think, for tonight's episode, and that would be your favorite logo of the SHL and the SMJHL. So I'm going to throw it to you first, and we're going to start with the J because the J is the feeder league. And what is your current favorite logo in the SMJHL?
All right. Do you want just the top one, or you want like a top three, or what are we going for?
We'll go top three, and then we'll talk about those.
So my top three in the J, I really like the Kraken logo.
Why?
I think it's very unique. I think Krakens are just cool. I like that they use orange. Not many people can use orange. And yeah, basically it's because Krakens are sick and it's well done. The Ottawa Highlanders is thematic for the reserve regiment there. That's pretty famous. The colors are incredible and the logo is just really well done. And third, I would probably say this is where it gets tough.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot, dude. Sorry, bro.
I think I'd go with the Citadels. I like the owl. I think it's kind of roughly designed like a castle. It's pretty cool.
All right. Kari does say it's time to release the Kraken. I'm just sharing what is being shared.
I didn't know Carolina scored on the podcast, but
I'm not going to repeat what she said about Hiff.
Tell Monk that her cat's ugly.
I think for my J logos, I actually really like the simplicity of the Colorado Raptors. I think that crest is pretty sharp. The blue and yellow combination I really like. I do like that a lot. My second choice for the J is the Detroit Falcons. Really love that bird. It's nice and simple. It would look great on a jersey, and red and white is very classic. The branding there is just sharp, and it will look really, really good.
Just take the Red Wings colors, yeah.
At Boston University, Detroit Red Wings, it works.
Yeah.
It's really sharp. I'm gonna be a little toxic, and when we're done, we're gonna give our least favorite logo, and
we might have the same one. We might have this.
Yeah, we might have to talk about that a little bit. And then I also think that I like the Newfoundland Berserkers there too. It's a little busy and it's a little like, but it's the branding, like with the team name, with the bear head and the mustache and the shield in the background.
You just want that mustache.
I would love to have a mustache like that. Just a full Hulk Hogan mustache, dude. I would be all about it. That's the real answer. I could never grow it, but I would be all about it for sure. So that brings me to my next question. What is your, and we don't need to necessarily add more than one. And we're not here to bully
the branding. Least favorite, the Thunder Bay walleye.
Okay, that is not my pick, believe it or not.
Because it's a dumb fish and Thunder Bay is a terrible city.
It's a fish with a puck, though. He's got a puck.
I don't care.
My pick is the main timber. What is that? Is that a shield with a couple of axes? Like, is that a tree trunk like that was cut? Like, what is it? Not like going on there.
The shield
I don't particularly care for the branding of the timber in general. Like, if you're gonna have timber, like have like a lumberjack or something as your mascot.
Yeah. See, it's not great. But the walleye is so terrible that I don't acknowledge it.
See, I think that the walleye have more foundational like context in regards to hockey that it's more realistic for me. I mean, you have the Idaho Steelheads, you have these other teams that have had that fish kind of branding.
I hate all of those teams too. Don't worry.
I can still see them as like a good like branding thing, and I think that it's like a good logo. I like it. It was made well, but the other one that kind of jumps out at me is like could use a lot of work, especially with the branding, is the Vancouver Whalers. I love the Whalers brand. It has a lot of like roots in hockey itself. I mean, obviously, especially with like the New England Whalers or Hartford Whalers or whatever you want to. It was originally the New England Whalers. They were based in Boston, by the way. But like How do you feel about text in primary logos?
I don't really like having text in the primary logo. But I also think that like it's similar to when we had the Winnipeg Jets back in the day. It's just like you're mostly ripping like 90% of a concept from a former team, and it's just not something I'd personally want to do. I'd rather go in a different direction. But at this point, it's just kind of built into the J. They've been around so long.
No text in primary, Lime says. Kari says, bring back Hartford Whalers. Why not? Why not? Bring back New England Whalers. Put a second team in Boston at this point. We should do it. But fish with puck. So cutesy.
Yeah.
All right. So we've given our teams that we like in the J.
For the J,
the teams that we don't necessarily care for in the J. So now we shift toward the SHL. And it's kind of interesting because there's a new logo to put toward our consideration.
There is a new logo.
We're going to spend some time.
Do they have it on the banner yet? They do have it on the banner
They
already.
do have a new banner.
They didn't change the background color, though. Or are they just leaving it as the dark blue?
I think it's the same. That same dark blue.
Well, their main color is now the light blue.
It does look like that. Anyways, we're talking about the Hamilton Steelhawks, which you cannot see as we talk about it. The Hamilton Steelhawks have announced a rebrand. We're going to break that down in a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to continue to talk about branding. Any logos in particular? What are your top three in the SHL?
All right, so my number one SHL favorite is the Winnipeg Aurora. I love the polar. I love the stars in the background. I think the constellation's really well done. I love the colors. I just think it's incredible. I'm a big fan of the Aurora branding. Honestly, it's my absolute favorite.
I paid him like $20 on Venmo before we talked to say that. So
bought me one egg.
One whole egg. We got some more chat in here. Pride branding is untouchable from Lime. I like it. The colors are good, but
my thing with the Pride is the colors are great. The lion just like derps on me. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like it looks baked or something. I don't like the front face. The mane is kind of like square. I don't like that it's kind of square. I think a lion logo could be really cool, but I'd probably rather a side profile than the, front face of the weed lion or whatever it is.
The weed lion?
Yeah, he's baked.
Kind of
Snoop Dogg lion.
Kind of like where is my meth bear tattoo? There he is. He's
right yeah, exactly.
Yeah, meth bear.
He's a little high on the meth.
I don't know. It's like the Bears logo in the NFL.
So garbage. Okay, I'm glad we agree. Gotcha.
Oh my god. So you don't care for the Pride logo. So you mentioned
it's not my least favorite, but I'm not a big fan of it. No. The Aurora is my favorite.
Aurora's your favorite.
My second favorite is probably the LA logo. I really love the way that the skyline was used. The colors are really original.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Panthers really well done because it incorporates the skyline. I think it's just excellent. A very well done logo and team concept there. And then third favorite, I trail off hard after two, if I'm being honest. Give me a second. We'll find something.
So it seemed like a common vote was the Atlanta Inferno. So,
like the Inferno concept's solid. But like if I'm having my logo as a phoenix, which is like a majestic fiery bird, I want it to be on fire. Like your name's the Inferno. It looks like a phoenix without the flames. Like your phoenix is lacking Inferno, which is your team name.
I mean, it has the yellow outline on the top that could be like inferred as a fire.
No. Like for me, I want to see give me a Maltress looking phoenix bird kind of thing. I don't know. My third is probably just based on colors alone. I hate the dumb fish, but the Tampa Bay Barracuda is very original, and the Miami Vice colors are incredible.
Okay.
But I hate the fish, for the record.
All right. I'm gonna give my top 3.
All right.
And I'm gonna put Winnipeg aside because I'm not gonna be biased. I was a part of that rebrand. And
You can't do Edmonton either then. Okay.
nor can I do New England at that point.
Okay. So take
all
those
the
three teams out.
rebranding that I have been a part of, I'm going to put aside and not include them in my my top 3. I do really, really like the Philadelphia Forge logo. And there's problems, I think, myself for the branding itself, because I mean, you look at like the Steel City, that's Pittsburgh. That's literally
If this branding was in Pittsburgh instead of Philadelphia, it'd be
100%.
perfect.
100%. I agree.
My entire problem is that it's in Philly. For why?
Yeah. I mean, I love it because it doesn't have the text in the logo, but it has the P, which is a hammer, and hammers involved in forging. It's very well built for a brand. The colors also pop. Has that orange and that red that really goes really well with black. You kind of like that same color scheme with the good night, I love you. With that same, brand that the St. Louis Scarecrows have a little bit. I really like that a lot. The other logos that are really popping out to me personally these days, I've got to give a tasty little shout out to the Los Angeles Panthers. As one of the original draft picks of the LA franchise, who had the old school Florida Panthers logo with the cat like jumping out like this, that I actually really like that, but I understand that you want to
the
have
gray one.
Logo. Yeah, I really like that one. That was back in season 4.
The current one is also just incredibly well done. But yeah,
it's
one
pretty good.
Cool.
I mean, you have that side profile with the skyline, like you had mentioned, and it still has their colors, and it has.
My thing is that the Pride could do that Panther attacking thing with a lion instead, and it would work completely.
Just to add 2 paws on the side of the derpy Panther.
No, just make a real cool lion that's attacking. And then give him googly eyes for no reason, like the old Calgary Dragons logo.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. So those are my first 2. And then, the other one that I think has a lot of promise, but is still like up there for me, is the Chicago Syndicate. If you got rid of the text in there, the yellow and black, it was a perfect like color combo. Not that I'm biased or anything.
The color combo is a classic for sure. My problem with the Syndicate is that like basically your city branding is that we're the criminals.
Why not? Why not lean into it? You have the Outlaws, right?
It was the Renegades, I guess.
You did.
But Renegades aren't Outlaws now. Oh, you mean the Anaheim Outlaws? Correct. Yeah, that's a J team. No one cares about J teams.
We just talked about don't say
you
that.
Have the Solar Bears.
We're an officially league sanctioned podcast. We care about J teams.
What I mean for J teams is you can have more outlandish branding in the J, and it kind of makes sense because like minor league teams go a little crazier, like the Orlando Solar Bears, or the Atlanta Gladiators team,
or like the Thunder Bay Walleye. Calm down. You were just giving them shit.
No, see, you can go outlandish and crazy and fun, and they said, "What if dumb fish?" It's a lack of imagination.
I kind of see what you're saying. Like, I love Buffalo's branding too. If they didn't have the word mark, I don't like the word mark. I really don't.
So, do you remember when the Buffalo Stampede logo first came out?
I do.
Do you remember that there was something drawn in the Buffalo Stampede logo?
I do. It was like a muscular man. I took it and I added the legs and stuff to it, and then it became a meme. It was so great.
It was
a thing for sure. One team that I think would really do well by a rebrand with just a new logo would be the Toronto North Stars. I think that you're shaking your head. Leave it to the guy from Ontario to shake his head. Okay, tell me why you don't.
First of all, I live in Toronto.
I know.
So what I can tell you about Toronto is there's nothing else interesting in Toronto besides the CN Tower to have on that logo. It's you got the compass for the North Star, like the directions. You got the CN Tower there. It's like unless you're changing your team name, it's about as good as you're doing with that team name, I'd say.
Okay. I think that they should go into an actual Stars logo here, and not the CN Tower, not a compass rose or anything here.
But stars are so done. Like they're just so basic. Everyone's just here's a star.
So you don't have to have the star as like the main premise of the logo. You could have it be like the outline of the outside of the logo and have something else in the middle.
What's in the middle? The CN Tower.
Maybe you still have the CN Tower, but there's no friggin' star there. There's no what is this North Stars? There's no star in that logo.
Guiding star, the directional one. So the compass is showing that it's it's got the directional route.
The soccer style logos are the best of the word mark lows.
I don't know what a soccer logo looks like.
Lime, I need you to tell me more about what you mean by soccer style logos. Are you talking about like just the round ones with just text? Is that what you're referring to? Bring back the red and tan scheme. I actually really like that color scheme.
It's original, which is nice. But also it's the blue's pretty classic Toronto.
Yeah, like circle logos. So I mean, that's going to tie into what we're about to talk about.
Like Buffalo logo is a circle logo, right?
It is a circle logo. Yeah, I mean, I do like the Stampede logo. I just don't like the word mark in it. Like, if you could just take out that outer ring and just had the buffalo with the green and gold, I think that would be like top tier, stellar uniforms and a great branding. So you're talking
about the Buffalo one is that like it's a buffalo, but because they're the city of Buffalo. Now, like, were there buffaloes in Buffalo?
I mean, I'm sure at one point until we killed them all.
But like when?
I don't know.
Is there a single buffalo in Buffalo now?
To the Google machine. Was there buffalo in Buffalo? It's not checking out.
If there's no record of buffaloes being in Buffalo, I'd say there's a problem here.
Yes, Buffalo did once roam here.
How many?
Like 7 of them.
Okay, that's fair. If it's over 6, we're good.
SHL Darrow says Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. I think that's a good point.
That's Trips, by the way.
That's Trips, really?
That's Trips, yeah.
What's up, Trips? Thanks for popping in. But I think that's a good point. Yeah, Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. We killed like 100 million buffalo in the United States. You're using the term "we" very broadly. Like
he's really old. Lime. He's one of those pioneers. He was on the Oregon Trail. It's just shanking the buffalo.
I take no credit in the killing of the buffalo here in the United States. Grammatically correct sentence. Okay. He did indeed mean himself. Okay. Speaking of buffalo,
dysentery and died like 3 days ago. This is just ghost typing.
What are your thoughts on the Manhattan Rage logo?
I mean, so I was very partial to their old one of the polar bear reaching out and attacking the city of Manhattan.
I like that one too.
So I dislike, like, I get the concept. It's like, oh, the raging bull. But the Chicago Bulls exist, so I don't need another Red Bull logo. I'd rather just have something different.
Kari says, I'm listening, so be nice.
Manhattan is a great place to play. It has wonderful people, but I'd rather the logo be slightly different.
Don't hate an angry cow. I will say that I like the fact that Manhattan's maintained. I came up with the polar bear brand for Manhattan back when I was a co-GM way back when. And that went away the way of the dodo bird, and they went back to their rage. So I do like the fact that the bull is back, because the bull was the original logo for the Manhattan Rage way back when. It was an angry bull, like lifting its hoof, and it was like huffing out air and like smoking shit. It was a terrible logo, but the concept of it was really, really cool. And the history of the team, being able to go back to that was pretty cool. And I kind of like that. What the hell does that even mean? Why has Ace been on every single time VRO? What is VRO?
Team. It's bro. It's some Zoomer lingo.
Oh, because I've been here since 2011. Like, what do you
I've never played for Manhattan.
That was the first time I ever GM'd, actually. I was a co-GM with Manhattan.
Mine was Minnesota.
I was named the co-GM of Manhattan with Diamond Ace for one season.
Oh, DA's he's in Hockey Nation, actually. We still talk to him.
Oh, good. He's a great guy. I tried to bring him back in the SHL like
He's
4
never
times.
coming back.
No, dude. He loves VHL way too
Yeah.
much, and he's like SHL sucks. So what the fuck, Kari? I
It just
don't
means you're
know
old.
what the hell you're
It
speaking.
just means you're old. Unk means old.
Unk.
It's like uncle, you know?
Uncle. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for. You're old too, Hif. How do you know this stuff?
Oh, because I see Kari use it in the Ottawa locker room. I see.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what the is UNC like an acronym? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here.
We didn't do the worst SHL brandings.
Oh, did we?
I was waiting for this.
God. All right. Let's do that. Let's make sure we shit all over a giant group of people.
All right. Can I do more than one? Because I got a bunch. I just want to put on blast.
Please.
All right. We're gonna go from the top here. From the top. The Inferno. Like I said, I just want you to be on fire. The
Platoon Inferno right off the hop, huh?
Platoon is very good. Just like general America.
Oh, you're gonna go top. Okay, you're gonna give your whole perspective.
Oh yeah, we'll just go quickly going through. The Rage again. I don't need another Bull logo. We have the Chicago Bulls.
So you skipped over Buffalo and Hamilton.
Well, Buffalo we talked about a lot. Okay. Hamilton, like I don't know. I feel like they just took the Blizzard.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the Hamilton rebrand.
Like it's a lot way better than it was, but also I think the name Steelhawks is stupid and change it. Patriots is literally just you took a side profile of Flu and animated it. Wolfpack is solid, but I feel like I don't know. I want the wolf to be more noticeable. It's kind of like lower res.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. Forge, great, but be in Pittsburgh. Barracuda, change your name to literally anything else, and your logo would be incredible. Just be the palm trees, like honestly, just something, not a dumb fish. North Stars, about as good as you can get with North Stars. Dragons, there are dragons in Calgary. They're the billionaires who go to avoid taxes. But I digress. The Syndicate, again, the criminals. It's well done for the Syndicate, but yeah. Blizzard, I'm not a big Fox guy, but take the text out of the logo. I think it'd be a lot better. Panthers, I really liked. Monarchs, I dislike everything. Like the butterfly in the crown. Like I get like artistically it's supposed to be cool, but I'm not a fan of it. Spectres, this purple is just the worst purple of all time. And with the black, it makes it hard to see everything. So I just maybe change the hexes a little bit to be a little better coloring. Pride, we went on the Pride. The Argonauts, the eye on the boat throws me off. Renegade.
I like that lore wise. I'll let you finish.
Jason the Argonauts, I get it. Lore wise is fun, but also it's just fucking weird. And then the Renegades, I don't know. I feel like the hockey sticks aren't very noticeable. Could probably do a little better. Again, anyone that's texting their logo, just take it out. It'll help. Yeah, it's all right. There's no color because they're black and gray or silver or something. Like it's just very dark, black and white kind of thing. Sure. The Aurora's good.
Thank you. I think you're right. I think that all of these logos would be better if they didn't have the word mark and they just had a crest. I don't think that there's anything wrong necessarily with having a word mark. I think it's a good, important part of your branding. But in the primary crest on a jersey, I don't necessarily think there needs to be text. All right, I'll give my honest thoughts across the top, just like all you did. And then I have to go across the J for you too, if we're gonna do this whole thing.
Oh, we're doing the J too? Oh boy. Okay, great. Excellent.
Atlanta Inferno. I love the color team. The branding there, the color concept. I love the logo itself. The yellow on the wings. Still, they capture that fire for me that If was saying doesn't capture to him. Get rid of the text though. Get rid of the text. It's dominating in the logo as far as I'm concerned. Baltimore, get rid of the outer ring. The eagle is fantastic. I love that. Give me 14 more of them right on the center of the chest. It is very, very good. Stop shitting on the Wolfpack in chat. I'm not even putting that on your screen. I love the Wolfpack logo. Hamilton, really, really good. The new rebrand is fantastic. We're going to talk about it. Manhattan, no text, a bull looking right at it. Fantastic. And the cool thing is, too, I believe if I pull this logo up and I blow it up a little bit more, yeah, right in the chest, you have the M for Manhattan, which is also really, really cool. Any like subliminal
is-
details. What?
It looks
You're
like a
saying something?
double chin.
It's not a shut up, Hiff. It's not a double chin. It's good. I like it. I didn't say it was one of my top 3. I still don't think it's one of my top 3. But building in subliminal details like that, I really, really, really like. Montreal. I mean, it's a good logo. There's no text, but you're right. It looks like flu. It's literally flu.
Did you see the picture? He did a
I
side
know.
profile
I've
of it.
seen that. As soon as I saw
It's
the
the
logo,
same
I was
thing.
like, and he was on the team when the logo came out. I was like, dude, did you just like model for this logo? It's definitely you.
Unrelated. Also, Frenchie and Flu are twins, so Frenchie could also.
Oh,
be-
really? I've never
Yeah.
seen a picture of Frenchie. That wouldn't
look
surprise me.
identical.
It would make sense considering he's
into
French.
each other.
So, New England Wolfpack. I'm seeing this. I see Patrick. I see you. Wolfpack logo feels old. Wolfpack needs a refresh for sure. Get rid of the text and it's fine. It's a fine logo. You have a wolf biting a stick.
I want to see
great.
more of the wolf. I want the concept's great. I just want a better version of the wolf.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't want to rebrand here.
No.
I don't.
I mean, the name could change probably because there's only one wolf in the logo. It's not a pack.
There was no additional wolves in the AHL team Hartford Wolfpack either. It was one wolf.
Yeah, and again, they would be a wolf, not a wolf pack.
Yeah, but every pack has like the alpha, right?
Okay, then you're the alpha wolves, not the wolf pack.
No, that just sounds silly if you say, "Oh, you're alpha wolves."
At least it's accurate.
Well, what do you mean? If you say Philadelphia Forge, you're not looking at a goddamn forge.
Exactly. They're the Philadelphia Hammers.
That
Or the
is
Philadelphia,
awful.
we took Pittsburgh's branding.
That's awful. Love Philadelphia's branding. Like I've already talked about it. Really good. The P ties in. You can even see the H in the P when you turn it on its side. I like that a lot. Barracuda doesn't do it for me. I really don't care for the Barracuda branding.
The fish sucks. Color's great.
Yeah, don't care for the fish. I do like the color scheme. I like the color scheme for the brand. I mean, obviously, personally, that is like a Miami Vice color scheme. I prefer this team to be based in Miami rather than Tampa. If I'm a team in Tampa Bay, I would lean so hard into the whole pirate vibe. Tampa Bay loves their pirates. They have a whole like pirate theme.
You mean like the Buccaneers?
Yeah, like the Bucks, but I mean they have a whole pirate like festival in Tampa Bay where they have pirate ships coming through the bay and shit like that. It's
Tampa
wild.
Bay bottle of rums, absolutely.
Why not the Tampa Bay Privateers or whatever? I mean, there's a reason why the Tampa Bay Lightning literally in the NHL just came out with like a pirate themed logo. It is a big part of their culture.
Did they? I've not seen
in
this.
Tampa Bay.
Pull it up.
Yeah, look it up. Look up Tampa Bay Lightning pirate logo.
Logo.
Yeah, it's not an official jersey. It's like a fan
Buccaneers.
jersey. Yeah, it's a thing. Toronto, I don't care. I already talked about it.
That's
They
pretty
need
cool.
they need like a star type thing here. I mean, your name is the North Stars, and you have no semblance of a star in your
good.
logo.
It's good. Unless they're changing the name,
not.
it's good as is.
It's not good. Dragons, there's too much going on. You look like an esports team. I love you guys. We gotta simplify that. Go back to the Jakarta Dragons. At least that was like a better logo because it's from a real team. This literally it looks like an esports team or like a NCAA logo. I don't know how to really feel about it. And get rid of the text as far as I'm concerned. Dragons just use the secondary. Okay, let's go in here real quick. Where is the Dragons information?
I mean, at least it doesn't have the googly eyes anymore. But it seems kind of weird to me that a team with a name as cool as Dragons has often been like one of the lower end logos in the league since season 1.
Oh, that dragon. Is it the same dragon that was like no, this is Izzy's post. I don't want to talk about that guy. Where is the Lime? What secondary are you talking about?
The one in that post is on the jersey. Just the head, I think, is actually pretty cool.
It's too. It looks like anime and like super detailed.
Dude,
I don't.
It beats the shit out of what they have right now. I think
That's fair. Yeah, just ahead of the dragon. Okay, so I was looking at that same thing. Okay. Yeah, there's just too much going on with this. I mean, I like highlighting the wing and
I
shit.
also don't mind a busy logo myself. I think you could look at it and see a bunch of things in it. As long as you could tell what it is by looking at it initially, you don't have to like delve into it. Be like, what the is that?
Yeah, I mean, I just get rid of the text, and I think this would be much better. Same thing with Syndicate. I already love the branding. I like the fact that you have, the history of the city in mind when you're talking about the branding. That's really important to me, is that you have, a concept of the community that your team is based in. Color
Like when you think
scheme's great.
Chicago, you got Al Capone.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect, really. Just get rid of that bottom thing that says Syndicate, and it's fantastic. Edmonton, I was part of this rebrand. I think it would be better if you just got rid of the text. I think that logo there with the text is important for the branding, but it shouldn't be the primary logo.
I missed the Yeti. I know why we couldn't keep the Yeti. I did want an updated Yeti. I think Yetis are dope, but people love foxes.
So when we were doing the rebrand, it was important for us to try to pull in concepts that were relevant to the city of Edmonton. And we wanted to have a mascot that would be relevant to things that actually exist in Edmonton. And there are Arctic foxes in that region.
Foxes aren't real.
Your mom's a fox. Moving on. The LA Panthers, I already talked about them. Minnesota Monarchs. At least it's not the Burger King logo anymore.
Okay, but this is just a new fast food chain. This is just
yeah,
this is Carl's Seniors.
The Minnesota, you got to go back. I mean, I know we can't be doing the Minnesota Chiefs anymore because
there's so many more interesting things in Minnesota than butterflies, though. I don't know.
I mean, I like it. The Monarchs. I mean, it's multi-branded here. You have a the crown, the butterfly, and everything like that. But I mean, honestly, when I'm thinking of a brand for my team, I'm also thinking about, God, we have spent 40 minutes talking about logos. Jesus Christ. I also think of something that's a little bit more, I don't know, scary, intimidating.
Well, this like
you're a butterfly.
Like, yeah, something just I don't know. And for me, it's like the point of the logo is to use the duality of monarch, like the ruler, and then monarch butterfly. It's like, I made you think, and then after that, it's like, oh, that was it.
But you still have a butterfly on your logo.
Yeah. What made you think?
We're gonna very quickly lose our SHL sanction status if we keep shitting on brands. Well,
if Minnesota didn't want us to shit on us, why didn't they win some games?
Seattle Argonauts. I like it. Get rid of the word mark. Texas, I like it. Get rid of the word mark. Black and white works. You've seen it with the LA Kings and the NHL side of things. Black and white.
Purple LA Kings were better.
They were better, but they also had a Burger King logo, and I hated that too.
Colors were enough.
Winnipeg, I'm not even going to comment about that because I'm currently the GM and I'm biased. But yeah, did you guys know that there's a new SHL bot?
Does it have a name yet, or is it Premier SHL bot still?
I think it's still Premier SHL bot. So going back to the what was it, Azarin bot back in the day, I candidly rarely looked at the index. I didn't have to do that whatsoever
because we had the bot
often at all. I would go in Discord and I would type /stats and I would see what my player has been doing, and I would see /team and I would see what my team was doing, and I would never go to the website. Luke says he's still thinking about the name because he gets the right to name.
He paid $400 for it, so better be a good name.
I paid like $40 for a painting from Jess like 4 years ago. I still haven't got that, but
it's coming
eventually. Allegedly, we'll find out at some point if that actually
the
ever
paint has been bought.
That's good. I look forward to it. So the bot is back. It's very exciting. I am very thankful that the development team has been. Oh my God, she's working on it.
Right
Trips
now.
has seen it in person.
He touched
it. They touched it.
I believe that decreases the value. They owe you a refund or something.
Yeah,
right?
for real. I don't want it now. If you touched it, Trips. I'm just kidding. She's been working on it for 4 years.
It's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be a masterpiece. I cannot wait. It's gonna go probably right there on the wall. It's gonna be beautiful. Yes, Rex, it does.
That's the point. Yeah,
indeed.
You nailed it.
What does my shirt make you think of? Brad Marchand on the Florida Panthers?
No, I was thinking of the Possum Queen and Calgary Dragons.
Great shirt for an egghead.
The Ducks took Seneki over Ivan Demidov.
It's true. It's true. So the bot's back. Really appreciative to the dev team for being able to put that together and bring the bot back. Hif, can I hand things over to you for like 30 seconds?
Yeah, I can do my announcement now if you want, actually.
Do it up. I'll be right back.
Perfect. All right. So coming in the near soon, in about 3 days, Jess and I are going to be doing a media competition in conjunction with the SHL media team. It's going to be for people who have less money than others. This isn't to say like roughly under 30 million. We're still hammering out the specifics. But what it is there's going to be a prize pool of 150 million. And you'll get a bonus for writing articles set on the specific topics we're looking at. I won't leak what the topics are, so you can't write beforehand. And then we'll also have a like a Eurovision style voting competition with some weighted voting where we have us two as the judges, and then the people involved get an increased amount of vote, and then just anyone watching can also vote. And it'll be a way to try to just give back to the community and help people who are struggling to earn some money, have a way to get an influx of cash, as well as just rewarding some of the excellent media we might see in the SHL. So keep an eye out for more details on that. You're muted.
I said that was a fun announcement. What was it again?
It's just SHL media competition. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. Pretty excited for those things that are going on with Hif and Jess. I hate that. Thanks, Rex. That's great.
He's crying. I'm laughing.
Makes me think of 2013. Yeah, hate that too. That's great. So let's talk about trade deadline. So the SHL trade deadline is tomorrow.
And nothing's going to happen.
The NHL trade deadline was today, and things did happen. We're not talking about the things that did happen, but had a question from a viewer. What does the SHL need to do to incentivize activity quite to the level of their real life counterpart?
All right. So my quick off the cuff answer, and I say off the cuff, but I told you about it before we started the podcast, is that basically you would need, like, the reason the NHL trade deadline is so important is that the cap is prorated. So your players' amount of money they make against the cap is based on the amount of days left in the season. So the person you're acquiring at trade deadline day is making you only have to pay them 40% of whatever they have, on their contract, because 60% has already been paid. It might be higher. I don't know the specific numbers, but it's a lot less strenuous on the cap. So you can load up at that point and be further increase your contending team. Whereas ours is just a flat cap. So it doesn't matter when you acquire the person, they're always going to be the same level of cap. So there's no incentive to not just set your team in the beginning of the season and then just hang it out, unless some contending team was doing really poorly and decided they wanted to blow it up, which hasn't really happened in ever. But yeah, so if you you could add a prorated cap. That's about the only thing I could see happening. I think expansion might help as well. You'll have an increase of roster spots, which means more people perhaps willing to retain cap as they set into a rebuild, or have talent that ages out, but they're bringing in new talent. So, more player for player trades rather than picks for players. So that could also help. But yeah, the biggest thing that would help is a kind of prorated cap situation.
What are your thoughts on the fact that FHM prioritizes chemistry? Like, as a result of that, do you think that's an obstacle for general managers to going out and acquiring big names? And
Chemistry is huge, but if you're going to tell me you have the choice between, a 900 TP veteran who has legendary chemistry or a 2K player you got 50% retained, you're going to take that 2K player every single time. It's more so that the ability for them to stay with your team and fit under the cap will be a factor. But if you have it incentivized where you can get that player and they can fit under the cap because it's prorated, that could increase those odds of making the trade. But that's about it.
what about from the J perspective? Are you prioritizing somebody that's been let's put yourselves in a contending J situation where you're a GM of a J team that's looking to take that next step? Do you go and grab 350 IA players because they've been playing with each other for 3 seasons and acquire them, or would you go out and grab 2 random 425 players because
with the J
TP?
itself, what I've seen, the big issue there is that the cost in terms of picks for players of that caliber is so variable. It depends season to season which GMs are trading with which. It goes from like a first to a third sometimes. It's just so arbitrary. So it really depends on the price you're paying because you don't want to the J is very cyclical, but also you want to keep the team you have together going. You don't want to just have like empty seasons of nothing. So you don't want to blow your team up for 3 years because you went all in on one cup because that's going to kill your locker room, right? But I think if you were looking at like a 350 versus 425, it depends on your chemistry. Like if they're very good or good chemistry, I'd probably stick with the 350s. And especially if they fit like a build and scheme you're running and you know what they can bring. Whereas the other person might be a little more variable. You don't haven't had as much communication with them, so they wouldn't fit your style of build, or you don't know what it is. Depends on that, but yeah, I'd probably stick with the 350s in the J there. Also, congrats to William Salming, who skated in his 1500th game today for Hamilton. They did lose 7-3 in Montreal, though. Only the 8th player in the league to break that milestone. Will the experienced winger be traded? No.
No, I mean that's tied right in with what we're talking about. There's just not a lot of momentum. I mean, really, from a current GM's perspective and a former GM's, I don't want to speak for you, Hif, but from my perspective, the team I go into the season with all the maneuvering I do in the off season, I have every intention of finishing the current season with that current roster. I'm not planning on going out and finding someone mid-season to supplement my roster unless there's some sort of like turbulence in regards to league activity or like GMs, and a new GM comes in and they're looking to really disrupt their roster and acquire draft selections, that I'm in a place where I can justify expending futures for a player that fits not just for one season. Rentals are basically out of the question as far as I'm concerned, but a long-term fit for my team, at that point I would justify making a change in the middle of the season.
I think you're mostly similar, but like I think if you're on a team like this is your last ditch year, and then you're going to rebuild it, going for a rental that season, totally valid.
Yeah, I agree.
I had something else. Give me a second. And yeah, again, it just ties into the prorated cap because like you're in the off season, you're going to 0 cap almost all the time because you're just like, this is my roster for the season. Why would I leave cap space? I can spend it all now and have my team set, and I'm good to
go. Let's spend some time before we wrap up. We already mentioned we were going to talk about it. We already talked about branding a little bit here, so I'm going to share my screen momentarily, and we're going to talk about the new Hamilton Steelhawks brand that went live last week. So
excellent.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. And here it is. There you have it. We have the wonderful color powder blue, and we have secondary color of Swarovski gold, and third color of cream, and the final color of midnight blue. And I do have to say that I really love these logos. And I know I already said I don't enjoy the text portion, the word mark. I think if you just had that eagle by itself without the ring around it, it would be even better.
First of all, it's
But
a hawk, not an eagle, as you can tell by the name.
whatever, the bird. It's a raptor. Okay, we'll say that the Hamilton Metal Raptors.
It's this hawk right there.
It's, sure. Just get rid of the ring on the outside and just have that bird by itself. I think that would be a sweet logo. The secondary logo, I adore that. You're tying into the Canadian heritage. You have the maple leaf with the talons of the hawk. I almost
Is
said
that what it's
eagle
supposed to be? Their
again.
talons?
It's the talons around the leaf
Oh,
grabbing it. I'm
I
glad
did
I'm able to.
not get that at all.
I'm glad I'm able to translate that for you. He's grabbing the leaf, which is really cool. And then you have the the underside profile picture of the hawk with its wings spread. Really, really, really like this.
I do enjoy
This
the
overall
tertiary a lot.
branding.
I think the tertiary is my favorite part of it, honestly.
It would be a pretty good primary logo too.
I think so, yeah.
I think it might be even better than the one that they currently have. But I just really enjoy this rebrand in general. And we're gonna get a glimpse at the jerseys here.
All right,
And
so before we start here,
yeah.
what is their tertiary color?
Well, I'm assuming that it is cream.
Okay,
According
show me
to,
where it's on the jersey.
it's right here.
That's the logo.
Yep, and then on the stripes,
That's just white.
it's cream.
No, that's just white. Is that cream or is that just white?
No, I'm assuming the intention is that it's cream.
It looks just white to me.
Well, I mean, if cream is listed here and it is included on the outside of the logo, and outside here and in there, and I see it here and I see it there, and I see it here.
Yeah,
it does look like the same color as this outside. So
maybe I'm blind, but yeah. So
what is it? What is this flag? You're Canadian. Is that the flag of Hamilton? Like, what is that?
That might be the city of Hamilton. Let me check.
I don't know if I'd put it there on the jersey.
I don't like the city of Hamilton, so yeah, it is the city of Hamilton flag.
I don't know why the city of Hamilton.
I don't like the city of Hamilton, but
no,
yeah, they have a lot of one-way streets. It's very annoying.
I can't say I've ever been. It's a cooler rebrand, but I might not be objective from Salming. It's Hamilton, yeah. Okay, thank you. I wouldn't. I mean, the only other like example of a local organization or like government or region's flag on an NHL jersey that I can think of is Calgary, where they have the Alberta flag on the shoulder of the Flames. It's not something that really does a whole lot for me. It doesn't move the needle for me. But overall, the color scheme is gorgeous. I love the color scheme. I do like, yeah, I mean, same thing as Edmonton as far as I'm concerned.
I do like, I almost wish that instead of the dark blue, they went with cream there. You know what I mean?
Oh, like up on the shoulders and down on the sleeves?
Yeah, I think it could have been a little more unique. I get that like this is a very tried and true color scheme, so it makes sense, but would have been fun to see.
St. Louis flag is inside the... Yeah, but Patrick, that's not like exposed. That's not right here on the chest. That's not something I'm going to see in every picture where a player is doing something. Like, I get it, but whatever. Here's the away jersey. I mean, you've got a more prominent... Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing.
Same jersey, just inverse, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's nice.
Yeah. So I like this rebrand a lot. I think it's better than their previous brand that they had. But
that's a low bar. This one's nice though. I do enjoy it. It is much better. I'm glad that they decided to rebrand. I'm also very glad that it's no longer the pregnant Steelbirds.
Yeah. Yep. So we are we're basically at time here. We're going to go ahead and plan to talk about some other cool stuff. We're going to have some hopefully guests on next week, TBD on who's going to be joining. If you guys have any questions that you want Hiff and I to talk about on
Post
next
in
week's
the
show,
thread.
please post in the thread. We would love to hear your takes and some of the topics that you would like us to chat about. So, Hiff, any concluding thoughts for today's episode?
Yeah, just that the trade deadline, don't expect anything to happen.
I, too, do not expect anything to occur. So on behalf of the SHL broadcast team and the SHL itself, we appreciate you tuning in to SHL Tonight, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.